When it comes to safety, sometimes the things we fear the least can prove to be the most deadly. I'm William Shatner. Tonight on Rescue 911, true stories of courageous people whose love and dedication makes a difference in our lives. We begin on August 10th, 1991, in the suburbs of Cincinnati, Ohio, where Connie Allen and her husband, John, were doing chores.
It was Saturday afternoon. We were having company the next day, and I wanted the yard to look beautiful. So I asked John to trim the hedges. They were old hedge trimmers, and it was falling apart, but it still worked, so he just thought he'd just use them real fast. All of a sudden I heard a groan, so I ran over and I touched his back and just kind of fell over.
John!
He wouldn't respond.
John, wake up!
His lips were turning blue, and I thought, he's dead. But how did he die? I almost wanted to think it was a joke, but I knew that he wasn't going to wake up. I had taken CPR before, but I was just so distraught that I couldn't even think of following the correct steps. So I decided if I screamed as loud as I can, maybe somebody will hear us and help us.
A neighbor heard Connie's cries for help and called 911. From 2 doors away, Reed Bogart also rushed over to help.
It was very scary. He's laying there and he's blue. I assume he's dead. And I didn't even know why he was laying there. I don't know CPR, but I gave him mouth-to-mouth, hoping that I could do something.
Is he breathing?
No, he's not.
When I was pregnant, we were just so excited to be having a baby. And then we found out it was twins, and we were just ecstatic. It was going to be the light of John's life. That's all he could talk about. And then here, I'm thinking he's not even ever going to see him.
While trimming the hedges in his yard, 27-year-old John Allen suddenly collapsed. His wife Connie's screams brought a neighbor to the scene, but John was showing no signs of life.
Come on, John.
Lois Siegel, a registered nurse, and Sharon Burns had also heard Connie.
When we approached the backyard, we saw John lying on his back, and he looked terrible. He was so blue and so lifeless that I couldn't imagine anybody coming back from that point.
1, 2, come on, John. 3, 4, 5.
She's 7 months pregnant. This is a time a lot of babies are born premature, especially twins. And you're thinking, she's going to go into labor if she doesn't calm down.
3, 4, 5. 1, 2.
And they kept telling me, you can't get this upset. You have to think about the babies. And at that point, I only wanted to see John wake up, because I didn't want those babies without John.
No pulse. 1, 2.
Within 8 minutes of the call, Cincinnati Fire Department rescue units arrived on the scene, led by Captain Earl Menkhaus.
When I first saw the victim, he was basically clinically dead.
What do you got, man?
No pulse, no respiration.
Even though CPR was being applied, apparently there was not much oxygen getting to the victim's brain because his face was extremely blue. So we immediately proceeded with hooking up the Heart Start 1000 semi-automatic defibrillator.
1005. Did anybody see 1001?
This Heart Start 1000 machine was put on loan to the city of Cincinnati as a test program because they believed that a lot more people could be saved by giving this piece of equipment to people that are on the scene first.
Machine's on. 1003. 1004.
Okay, stand clear.
1005.
Assessing. Hands off.
This machine showed that he was in ventricular fibrillation. The heart is like a bag of worms. It's beating against itself, and there is no rhythm to it. So the defibrillator called for a shock.
All clear? 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 Clear.
Shock delivered.
Check his respirations, Jim. I'll check his pulse.
I kept glancing at him thinking, he's just not coming around, and he should be by now.
I got a pulse, guys. All right.
All right.
He's barely breathing.
Deal.
All right, keep giving him some oxygen.
When they turned around and said his heart's beating and he's breathing on his own, it's like Christmas in July. It was the most wonderful feeling you've ever had. And then you just started praying that everything worked out all right.
John was taken to Providence Hospital in a coma, where he was examined by emergency physician Daniel Franklin.
Though we knew that CPR had been administered early, that he had been defibrillated early, there was a chance that he would not come out of the coma.
It was just a long wait for somebody to tell me John was going to be okay. But in the back of my head, I was worried that the response was going to be, "Sorry, Mrs. Allen. Sorry, there's nothing we can do for your husband." That was such a scary feeling. I kept trying to take his hand and put it onto my stomach and saying to John, "Feel that? Molly and Mary are in there. They need you. You have to wake up." And they said maybe if you give him a loud yell with a familiar voice, he'll wake up. So all night long I had been yelling, "John, John." And this time I yelled, "John." And all of a sudden he just sat up, turned his head from side to side, and he just smiled.
Say da 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 da. Say da da. You say it. Say da.
The heart failure John suffered when he was electrocuted left him with no permanent injuries.
I feel very lucky. This year alone, I've been blessed with twins, recovered from a near-fatal accident. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Hey, Mary Claire. Hey, girl. What are you doing?
There's not a day that goes by now where I'll see John with the babies and I think they could have been without this. So grateful. I'm so happy for them that they get to have a daddy like John.
In looking into the accident, it was found that John had plugged a frayed hedge trimmer cord with a 3-pronged plug into a 2-pronged adapter, so it was not properly grounded. When he touched the chain link fence, he was severely electrocuted.
Had that 2-pronged adapter not been on, when he got the shock, it would have immediately turned off.
Do you need something? Do you need a toy?
When John was in his coma, I was promising him that he could play golf whenever he wanted, that he'd never have to do yard work again.
God, no. She lied. It's funny because your perspective changes so dramatically when something like this happens, and you really focus on the important things in life, like your family and your kids, and that's what's important to me. But I've learned that yard work really stinks. You just don't do it.
I'm so grateful to Reed and Sharon and Lois and that rescue squad. They saved John's life. That means everything to us, so therefore they mean everything to us. I had my first kiss done.
It wasn't me.
Next.
I've seen a lot of epileptic seizures, and you just think, they're going to have this seizure and relax, and then I don't think anybody realized just how bad it was.
Hey, somebody get an ambulance, please.
On May 8th, 1992, in Hickory, Pennsylvania, the Langhurst Hickory trucking team was scheduled to play the Print Box team in the local girls' softball league. 14-year-old Nikki Oliver was waiting to watch the game with her friend Marty Camden.
Nikki and I were standing next to the field, talking just about school and everything. Nikki couldn't play because she sprained her ankle a couple weeks earlier, and she's been on crutches.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, hey!
It sounded like she got hit in the teeth because of the way it cracked. But it really hit her glasses and the side of her head and her temple.
You could hear it. You could actually hear the ball hit Nikki, and I had to be 30 feet away from her.
Gloria Buckles, a registered nurse, was one of the mothers watching the game.
She seemed perfectly fine, so I kind of sat back and the coach took care of her.
We've had kids got hit before, and it was like no big deal because at that age group there's always somebody with a knee or a finger or something. So we wasn't real bad concerned at all.
She seemed glassy-eyed where I started to think that no, she wasn't alert or something was starting to happen with her. So that's why I went to get my flashlight.
The coach asked his wife, Jackie Jankowski, to keep an eye on the young girl.
Are you okay? I started to check her pupils to see if they dilated with a flashlight. They didn't. They were very pinpoint, non-reactive.
Gloria went to call Nikki's mother so she could take her daughter to the hospital.
She was sitting there real quiet, and then she turned to me and she says, "Jackie, something's happening." That was her exact words, "Jackie, something's happening." And I said, "Wait a minute, honey, the coaches are coming." And her left arm started to twitch. I've seen a lot of epileptic seizures, and you just think, they're going to have this seizure and relax, and then I don't think anybody realized just how bad it was.
Hey, somebody get an ambulance, please! Now!
To get help, someone drove to the Mount Pleasant Township Volunteer Fire Station, 2 blocks away.
The seizure lasted approximately 6 to 7 minutes. And when I realized she was like all relaxed, and I told her, I said, "Honey, you did a real good job." I said, "Just take a deep breath and relax now." Well, when she took that deep breath, that's when the trouble started. That was the last. She quit breathing. She took that deep breath and stopped breathing.
Within 2 minutes, rescue units arrived on the scene, including firefighter Tim Lowry.
Okay, what happened? I knelt down beside her. Her teeth were clenched tight, and she wasn't breathing.
All right, let's roll her on her back, okay?
Her eyes were wide open. Her pupils were fixed and dilated, and I got really scared. I saw a little girl there who her future was staring her right in the eyes, and she wasn't looking back.
All right, let's get a cervical collar and get her immobilized a little bit, please.
We knew she had a closed head injury. One of the most important things is to keep a high oxygen concentration in the body when that happens, which was a real task. I had to displace her jaw to get her to breathe.
From what I had seen, I thought as soon as this man leaves go, she's going to be dead.
It took Nikki's mom, Rose Oliver, half an hour to get to the field.
When I saw Nicole's eyes, that's when I really thought that she wasn't going to live. And I think the thing that bothered me the most was the last thing that I saw with my husband passing away was his eyes rolling back. And all I could think of was that, God just couldn't do this twice to one person.
I said, "You'll see, everything's going to be okay." But I didn't think it was when I said that. How do you tell a mother, "I think your child's dead"?
I didn't even let Nikki go until Life Flight was ready to go. I even got in the helicopter with them. I backed in, still holding her jaw open and bagging her. They had to ask me to get out of the helicopter. I wanted to stay with her because I knew she needed help.
There was no room for Rose on the Life Flight helicopter, so she had to make the 40-mile trip by car.
I really thought she was not going to make it. I thought that by the time we would reach Allegheny General, that I would no longer have a daughter.
At the hospital, Nikki was first examined by trauma surgeon Daniel Diamond.
This is Nikki. Last pressure's 110.
The head scan will show us whether there is a collection of blood pressing on the brain. And in her case, there was not a collection of blood pressing on the brain.
I'm not going to be able to move right now.
Nikki's care was then transferred to neurosurgeon John Wilson.
Is this Nikki Oliver?
Yes.
She was struck in the head by a softball, is that right? Basically, what really this boils down to is a simple situation where the blow to the head caused a seizure. They were having difficulty maintaining an airway so that she could breathe normally. And that was the real serious life-threatening problem, were the complications that were caused by the seizure.
Hi, Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Hi, guys.
By the end of the second day, Nikki was well enough to be visited by her family and friends.
She was sitting up in her bed eating a popsicle, just got finished playing Nintendo. Less than 12 hours before I seen her, I thought she was dead. And there she was eating a green popsicle, telling me she never had a green popsicle before. And everything was fine after that.
I truly believe that there was a miracle where Nicole was concerned. I think that her dad was there with her through all of this. Since I do believe in miracles, I think that he created one.
It's been 2 months since the accident. Nikki Oliver's life is almost back to normal.
Nicole is getting stronger every day. She's on an anti-seizure medication, hopefully to be weaned off of that very shortly. The prognosis is excellent. She is going to be fine.
Come here. No?
No.
Get him. I'm thankful for people that helped me. Tim, he's like a big brother, and Jackie and Bernie and their daughter Sherry. I've been a lot closer to them now.
Nikki's just a magnetic kid. She draws everybody. She's very intelligent. She's very fun. She's awesome. She's a great kid. I love her to death. We'll be friends for a long time, I'm sure.
What are you doing? Is there any in my hair?
Mr. Shapiro, step out of the car, please.